everybody, welcome to today's Love Nest. I feel a bit intimidated with my guests. I have these brunette bombshells from Hapa Hour. Is that how you say it? Did I say it right?
You did.
Hapa.
We're feeling intimidated because you were like Malibu Barbie.
Stop.
It's true.
Let's all go put on bikinis and go to the beach. See if we can pose as Barbies.
That was like,
we both go to here.
This is Aloha Barbies.
Aloha Barbies.
And
yeah.
you're like Surfer Barbie.
You are.
I love your necklace.
Guys.
Didn't you just start making a jewelry line?
Yes.
Let's hear about it.
Well, actually, it's like a beachy kind of line, and it hasn't launched quite yet, but
So
it's
perfect
called
for you.
Kai Blue Designs.
Kai Blue?
Kai meaning ocean.
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
blue. Yeah, but soon you guys will see. Thanks for
La
pointing
la.
that
That's
out.
awesome. That's awesome. Goals. So you guys are here from Hapa Hour, and this is Jess, and this is Mia. Why don't you guys tell us about the channel? What is Hapa Hour? Why did you guys create that?
Well, first off, Hapa is someone who's half Asian and half something.
Am I half Asian?
If you want to.
You could totally be our adopted Hapa sister.
So she's half Asian, I'm half Asian. Together we make one Asian.
Full Asian, and we're both mothers. So we're like,
love
let's
it.
do this.
So Hapa Hour, it's like a show, it's a talk show. We talk about advice.
Love. Who doesn't want to talk about love?
I know. What is this show? Oh, yeah.
Anyone who asks us questions about talk about anything, that's what we talk about.
Yeah.
And we're just
Cool.
kind of sitting on a couch like this.
Like
and just,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have to come on.
I know. We need to like switch. We've been trying, but I've been out of.
We'll make it happen.
The whack.
It's okay.
Okay. So usually you guys you've been on the Love Nest before.
Yes.
And you have too as well. You know how we do the Love Vase? We're gonna skip that today. We're gonna
Okay.
take a viewer question from Facebook. So Rachel Henley asks, how long does the honeymoon period last? And do kids today really understand hard work, or are we doomed to see more and more divorces and bachelors? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, I'll tackle the honeymoon thing.
Okay.
I feel like the honeymoon can last anywhere from a month to a year, depending on if you live with them. Because if you live with them, then you get to see, like, it all comes out. The mask is off, and like you're just like, this is me in the morning. And then they leave. Do you still love me? Okay, good. And they leave their shoes everywhere, or they, like whatever, like the habits, like, and it's not like, you're not all polished anymore.
Yeah.
So anywhere from a month to a year, and then after that, that's when it's like, okay, do I really like this person?
Yeah, that's when the kind of like special starts fading off.
Yeah, and you're not like, they're not always opening the door, and they're not always giving you compliments because they're not always trying to impress you anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the way it should be.
But that's not because then the effort kicks in. So
Yeah, I think it just depends on some couples. Because you said a month to a year. I think that, like I was in a 10-year relationship, I feel like throughout the 10 years we had our little honeymoon phases throughout.
It goes up and down.
Yeah, like if you have times where you
Right.
like, you go out of town, you go on vacation, then it's like you like reconnect again, you find each other again, and then you have like that little
The effort.
honeymoon. Yeah, I feel like, and you constantly have to put in effort. And I think a lot of people think that, it's kind of like a plant. Like if you don't water a plant, it's going to die. You have to
love
nurture
fern.
it and take care of it.
Take care of your love.
don't let the love fern die,
I like
it's
that you
true.
said it like comes in like hills, because I feel like phases, hills. I feel like sometimes people get so wrapped up in the idea of like Hollywood love and how it looks on the camera. And,
That's not.
and you have to realize what's special in your relationship, because you have things that probably happen in your relationship that's special to you, or that happened in your marriage or to me. And we can't compare that, like, well, Jess's man brings her flowers every day. Or,
It's not like the Notebook. Like I feel like I love the Notebook and I have Notebook moments, but I can't expect like there has to be effort, and you can't get too comfortable.
And it doesn't have to be flowers. It could be a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, like it depends.
Yeah, like recognizing that they are doing little things in the effort.
Yeah, and you have to say thank you, and you have to acknowledge, because if you don't, it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, then they don't know that you're not guiding them. They don't know what you like.
Two-way
So
street.
what do you think about when they said, and do kids today really understand hard work, and we're doomed to see more divorces and bachelors? I think meaning that people just, cop out of relationships and they don't put in the effort, the hard
Because
work.
they're like focused on career.
Yeah, so then they're like, I'll just break up and let's just get divorced, and they kind of quit.
I read this article from Facebook. So funny that I got the article from Facebook. But
How'd
they
you go?
said, like, the best advice you can get is to go home and love your husband, or go home and love your wife. Go home and love the person that you're with, because that's like the best thing you can do for your children. Because then they see the whole effort thing. So it doesn't matter like how busy you are. And then that just filters down into like career and friends, like loving that one person, and then everything else in your life is happy. So I feel like, again, that comes all back down to effort.
Yeah, and also it seems like back in the day it was a little bit more traditional. Like you didn't get divorced. Like you just, it was not even
wasn't
an
an
option.
option.
Like, and it's sad it's sad in a way, because if you're in an unhealthy relationship, you were like stuck with that person.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that a divorce is like an option.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if it doesn't work out, we'll just get divorced.
Like a backup plan kind of.
Yeah,
but
Almost like planning on it.
Because if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, you always have the option, if it doesn't work out, you can leave.
You can break up.
It's like, oh, well, I'm going to break up because I'm not happy. But when you're married, you have to constantly, you can't just break up. So you have to constantly handle your problems. And at night, if you're mad at each other, you have to confront these problems. But I think a lot of couples, they don't take the time to try to fix things, and they just have that option. They're like, you know what? Instead of just fixing things. I think it comes from morals too.
Yeah, and I like how when they said today's world, are we doomed to see more and more bachelors or bachelorettes, whatever. I do think that there is something to be said about the hard work, and I think that comes from like social media in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I think that has that affected your guys' relationships or the relationship you've tried to have? Have you seen social media kind of influence at all? You don't, if that's not too much to share.
I feel like in my own personal life, because I'm so open with YouTube, I keep very personal things very personal.
Yeah.
So my personal relationship is not, you won't find it like
Ever.
anywhere, unless on it's like my personal Facebook.
Yeah.
And I don't like add like the audience, only because I have to keep something that's just my own. Because once it's everybody else's, it's not your own anymore.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way. Whoops.
Yeah, and so that's hard. But I've had to learn.
But do you mean like being a YouTuber and talking about their love?
I think that social media can play into a lot of people's relationships.
Yeah,
having a Facebook, having an Instagram. Is your guy, is your girl going to other people's pages? Like,
that's a good
things
point.
like that.
We actually, you and I talked about that not too long ago. If I refer to like, I've dated a few people in the last few years, but like with my actual ex-husband, he was not on Facebook or none of those things. And I think it all comes down to trust also.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all social media is about spying on people. Because you're just there looking at people's lives and people's pictures and people's thoughts, and it's like, it's kind of creepy if you think about it.
I hear people's tweets in their voices, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. When you tweet, I can hear your voice, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going crazy.
But yeah, so it's a lot of spying, so you have to be just really secure with each other, because you're like, oh, he liked that girl's picture, and it's of course a girl on Instagram that like is wearing no clothes.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I could see how in the next 10 years, like that young generation today in 10 years, like I could see I could create a lot of problems. I know a lot of friends who had, who broke up through a Facebook picture.
Unless there's a conversation that says, hey, we have to trust each other. I'm not an insecure person. Like, don't freak out. And if there's something you're going to freak out about, before you freak out, like, let's have a conversation.
Right.
Don't just jump to, like, the worst case scenario ever.
Or I think when people go looking to find things,
if they
go through your laptop or if they went through your messages on Facebook, Vice, or if they go to look for something to pin on you, I think you're going to find something.
Yeah,
always.
but
makes you...
But that's what I just had this conversation with somebody about, like a girl who was talking about hiring a private investigator, and I'm like, if you're at that point in your relationship, you should just not be with that person.
That's a huge red flag,
and you should never. And it's kind of like a feeling. You have to just trust. Like you have to just know that you're just gonna trust somebody. And you could go check their emails, but you don't. You just have to be like, I'm gonna trust this person and believe that.
But sometimes it's also not the other person; it's them. So it can't. The guy or girl may be completely innocent, and it's just they're super insecure. So they're like,
yeah,
paranoia.
Or something from the past maybe is carried into this relationship that kind of, makes it hard to trust because they haven't really healed from past things, vice versa, etc.
Close one door before you open another.
Right. I think we've all had bad relationships where we could take away and be like, not like playing a victim, but something. I think everybody's been through something they could pull into the next relationship and be fearful of, their kind of insecurities or whatever. But I think the hardest thing about a relationship and love is to learn you have to give it freely, and that people have to earn that, and and they have to respect that. But sometimes even though it's so hard for you, you just have to choose to trust somebody and trust knowing that you could get hurt and that you could get screwed over. But at the end of the day, like, would you rather regret not trying?
I think it's a risk. It's like a job. It's like moving to a new place. Falling in love is taking a risk.
Totally.
And you just gotta
and it's
take
work,
the risk.
but like the best kind of work.
Yeah.
But it's still effort, so don't get comfortable.
Yeah. How good will it feel if you do take that risk and then it works out in the end? It's a gamble.
Best.
Love's a gamble, right? Holding my breath.
Love is a battlefield.
Heartache to heartache. Well, you guys, thank you for stopping by the Love Nest. Go check out Hapa Hour with these two beautiful, bodacious babes. I haven't heard that word in a while.
Bodacious. I like it.
Can we just point out?
Yeah,
Jess's little legs.
They can't touch the carpet, and I love it.
I think it's the cutest thing ever, and I love her so much.
And I'm like, I want that knee surgery that you get Or they make you taller.
It's not the knee, it's the
you don't.
shins.
Just wear tall shoes.
Yes.
We love you guys. Thank you for stopping by, and we will see you next time on the Love Nest. Bye, everybody.
Bye.